Hiya, I'm Jasper, and welcome to your video review for Star Trek Strange New Worlds, Season 2, Episode 1. So, as always, I'm going to give you the good, the bad, and the furry. To start off, furry, anthropomorphic aliens could sort of be considered furry. Moving on to the good and the bad. So, Season 1 was excellent, but they left it on kind of a cliffhanger and some unknown fate for some people. So, Season 2 picks up where the first officer, so spoiler alert for season 1, just by the way. So they pick up where the first officer has been jailed because she's genetically modified in some way, and so Captain Pike is trying to get a hold of some lawyer who's on the other side of the quadrant, section of space, Federation, whatever. I don't know the character's name that he's talking about, so I don't know if we just got introduced to her last season, I just forgot, or what, but she's not taking our call, so I'm going to go find her in person. So he yeets out towards her on some shuttlecraft. And so Spock is in charge of the Enterprise and gets some distress call from the person who, I didn't remember her name, but apparently it was the person who left last season to be like, I need to go find this kid's family or whatever. So Starfleet is like, nah, bro, you can't go. And they're like, well, we're going to go anyway. So that's kind of where this goes. I'm going to talk about the rest of the episode just because it's going well. I'm going to say that. But I'm going to give the spoilers now for this episode, not necessarily for the whole show, because the whole show isn't out yet. Okay, so spoiler alert. So, they decide to steal the ship, and they're faking out the inspectors that are, like, doing a refit or, doing whatever upgrades to get them off the ship. But one of the inspectors is like, I've been doing this for so long, I know a trick. Like, you're just trying to make it look like it's a warp core explosion or thing that's going to happen. And they're like, she's like, but if you really want to sell it, you should do this other thing. I'm going to go be in engineering now, because you need an engineer. Sure. Like, as a character, she seems fun, and I like that she's over 100 years old, like human-looking characters that are over 100 years old. That's kind of fun, because she's a Zalanite, Lanathar, was some species that, I don't know if they've talked about them in the past season, because I didn't rewatch Strange New World Season 1 before watching Season 2, so whatever. Point being, I feel like the fact that she's a species that is really old, like long living, I feel like is going to come into play with the number one's trial, but whatever. The thing is, as much as I like her character and her attitude, her voice, oh my god, it's the worst. Like, I don't like Aquafina's voice, but this is like an old Aquafina. It's so bad. And every time she opens her mouth, I'm just like, shh. Just stop. Please, just stop. It's so painful. So I kind of don't want her to be a main character. As much as I like her character, her voice, so terrible. Okay, moving on. I love Tuvok. I'm getting my Vulcans mixed up. Spock and Nurse Chapel's, like, chemistry, because I don't feel like he would have had that without Uhura. The Kelvin timeline Spock and Uhura thing totally worked, and then from the original series, I feel like they had a little bit of something. But I like Spock, and I like this Spock and this Nurse Chapel, and I don't know what else I've seen her in, but I like seeing her in more things because she's awesome. I also love the Doctor. I love every minute that he's on screen. I love the gravity of him. So I'm glad that he's doing more in this episode. What I will say is that they take some type of magic drug to make it so they can fight the Klingons in hand-to-hand combat because they need to escape something, blah, blah, blah. Maybe I just kind of drifted while they were talking about, this is like the war again type of thing, but I didn't realize he just carried around, like, performance-enhancing drugs on him at all times, but sure, whatever. That apparently will last, like, 5-10 minutes. All right, yeah, I guess you can punch somebody with magic injecto drugs that makes it so you don't hurt for the first 5 minutes, but, like, did you shatter all the bones in your hand when you were punching the Klingons' heads for the past 5 minutes, and you're just now feeling it? Or did it somehow juice up your muscles and your bones so that you didn't shatter all the bones in your hands after punching them in the head for the last 5-10 minutes? I don't know. Guess we'll find out. But not this episode. So the thing is that Star Trek Picard really nailed down awesome hand-to-hand fight scenes. So because I know that Star Trek, current day Star Trek, can do realistic fights, the fight scenes in this were bad. They weren't 90s era Star Trek where like every hit was with the double fist and and obviously it wasn't like the original series bad, but it was I would say the difference between Picard and the 90s, or the 90s and the original series level of disparity between Picard and this show in terms of quality of the fights. Even though they did a whole lot of slow-mo to try and juice up the like how badass it was, it kind of just highlighted some of the hits weren't hitting, and the like stunt dudes were like falling in ways that they didn't, hurt themselves, which I totally get. But Picard showed that you could have stunt guys fall that not hurt themselves. Well, I hope not hurt themselves. But that it looks like they were getting their asses kicked. So fight sequence, especially with how long it lasted, it was kind of like, man, this could have been better. I don't know why it's not better, but it could have been better. So hopefully it does get better in the future episodes. But yeah, I also hope they bring back Pike. I hope they don't sideline him for the whole season or even most of the season. Like, I want him back next episode because, don't get me wrong, I love the guy who plays Spock. I love the con officer and the tactical and all them. Like, they're awesome. Uhura's fine. And the doc and the nurse, like, I love all of them. They're awesome. But Pike, man, Anson Mount, that's who I came here for. I love Pike. Pike in Discovery is what sold me on watching this show. I mean, I probably would have watched it either way, but he's the one who sold me and was like, yes, let's make this a show. And they did, and I'm happy about it. So bring back Pike, okay? Yeah, so far I'm hopeful. It's pretty good. It's starting out decent. They had some interesting like exterior shots. I really love the fight between the ships that they showed. I think that was a really good way to film it, and I think that it really shows like how a good, flight, somebody at the con flying a ship can actually matter when it comes to, a space fight with phasers. So good job for that. And yeah, I just thumbs up, looking forward to it, hoping it's good, even with my complaints so far. So that's all I have for this one. Thanks for coming. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you the next one. Bye.